It's about that time, folks. Welcome to the Season 5 USFA entry draft here. We got the homie KC Colby with me in the booth. How are you doing? Show some love to your people.
Man, this is great to be part of an actual draft.
It's all good, man. I've been waiting on this for quite some time, ever since this league started. I knew that all of the players that went to the CSFA was going to just have some huge explosion to come into the big leagues, and we finally made it to that day, the 7th of May. And man, I can't wait to get this one kick started here. Make sure you show some love. All the people there I see, Mika Mahomes down there, Real Slim Ron, all the homies here. I see Venom right there. He's waiting to see where he's getting drafted, both of his players. I see Herrick Denry doing his thing as well. He had a big showing in the last game. Now we hype. You love to see it. Man, this is a good time to be alive, man. I can't wait to see what happens for all of you. Best of luck to all of the players heading up to the big leagues. And let's go ahead and get this thing started, man. I'll go ahead and click over to the home page. You get familiar with it, but this is where we're going to start everything off. We got the timer rolling in just a little bit. With your permission, let's go ahead and get that timer started. Give me a little countdown or something. Let's show some love.
3, 2, 1, do it.
And we are here for the beginning portion of the USFA Season 5 entry draft. And the first team on the clock, I believe, will be the Pittsburgh Roughnecks, right?
Yep. And of course, Hawk is a GM player, but he was also my first overall pick when we did the prospect game. So he would be a very appropriate pick in this situation.
He's a big-time player. He always making big-time plays. And I know he wanted to do a little bit more in that last game that we had for your team, but now he's going to try to take the field. I'm thinking he's going to be the pick. I'm not 100% sure. It could be Angel Fugel as well. He's a beast on the block, and you never know that they can always start on building that defense coming up. So you never know which way you're going to go, but it's going to be a fun sight to see. Shout out to all the homies here. I see Turks down there as well. Pittsburgh is on the clock. What is going on? Here's some stuff in the background. I already know what it is, but it's funny to hear. Every time I hear something, I perk up a little bit. It's a new day here. 3.5 left in this one. See where the pick is going to be. This is going to be a very interesting sight here.
As we wait, are there any players that you think are likely to fall below where their talent would otherwise put them, or vice versa? Because obviously, one of the things that's been very recent is Moldy Cheese had left the Discord a while ago, came back last night before, and then pieced out again shortly after. With a user like that, like where do you put someone like that on your draft board?
Yeah, I think he still has value. Obviously, in regards to all the players that are currently in the USFA, still a real big talent where he is. And honestly, you never know. He could swing by again. We've seen a couple people come and go. We've seen a few people that was here in the beginning portion where we had the beta season as well come back as well. So you never know what's going to happen until it happens. I still think that he still has some solid value for where he is right now, and I think a team could definitely use his talents, whether he's able to continue his work in the gym or not.
Yeah, it's just amazing to think the wide receiver of the year and a genuine Heisman candidate could end up falling so far,
Most definitely. Just gotta wait to see when's this next pick coming up here.
And for those wondering what we're talking about, back before the draft, just a reminder, we all did our own mock drafts of where we thought folks were going to fall.
Oh, wow.
And I want to say I had Cheese 12th overall in my mock.
Oh wow, we actually
Just based
got a
on the fact
little
that
bit. We actually got a little bit of news here. We're not even
Oh.
talking about this. It's actually going to be a trade coming up. We actually see there is actually a trade here involving two teams. Looks like Pittsburgh is going to be leaving their first pick and giving it to the St. Louis Archers. And they'll be also sending Arn Jacobson to the homies in Pittsburgh. You love to see it. Looks like they're trying to get some picks back. Maybe if they could get a little bit more bang for their buck, if you will. So they flip first rounders here, and it looks like Arn Jackson will be in Pittsburgh.
Well, remember, they don't need to get much for it, because as long as they've got any first round pick, they can still get the same two players that were going to be available to them at this pick. You know, no one else can draft Hawk or Flugel.
Most definitely. That's pretty crazy right there. I'm gonna go ahead and put the graphic up. I just got it here. Let me get everything going. But that's pretty crazy to start this one off. So it does look like it's gonna be St. Louis that is on the clock here for pick number 1.
And of course, St. Louis made it to the championship game last season, won the year before. This is not the kind of team you would associate with having the first overall pick.
Most definitely. Let's go ahead and wrap this one up here. We'll go back to the graph home. Let's restart this clock. That's pretty. I gotta do it.
We're gonna forget the clock at some point in this draft. I'm calling it now.
I'm trying to tell you, there's a lot of things I'm sure is gonna happen in this one. Let's go.
We're gonna be rambling about. Okay, and looks like that team is 3 minutes overdue. And
most definitely, I gotta keep my chat feed here up from all the people in the background. That's pretty crazy. Shout out to the homies in the chat once again. Another pick. Well, actually, the first pick still hasn't been done. But who are you thinking the St. Louis Archers is going to pick for the first one? You know that we got rid of. The homie Bobby Markham at the quarterback spot. Let him go in through the expansion draft. They got a bad mamma jamma that came from the college that your player is in, CHP. Never know. Sean Bridges could be that man.
I don't know. I would, just because there's two really strong QB options in this draft. And you can definitely say, I think one's better than the other, and that's fair. But how much of a drop-off is it really, you know? Both strong users, both strong players.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Bridges was very good to Lee. I was fond of him. But I hated going up against West, too. So,
looks like the pick number 1 is in. And we'll go ahead and turn it over to the commissioner of the USFA to announce the pick.
Hello, USFA, with the first overall selection of the Season 5 United Sim Football Association draft, the St. Louis Archers have picked from Central Houston Polytechnic quarterback Sean Bridges.
Sean Bridges heading to the Missouri State. Congratulations coming up here. And where are you feeling about this pick, Colby? I kind of called it there. Kind of thinking that was the direction to go.
Which, in my mock shows, I didn't have a QB going this high. Of course, I wasn't expecting that to really be an option with Pittsburgh initially first, but I feel like there's so much talent that you would want to get. With Cheese inactive, if you want to help your passing game, pick up Lancelot,
Mm-hmm.
or Whitten, I would have gone that route and held off on QB. But then again, St. Louis, they've got a lot of pieces already, so it makes sense that they just wanted to replace what is really their biggest loss in the expansion draft at this point.
pretty crazy here, I must say. Solid job. He did a real great job as a quarterback. All 4 seasons, he's been
Yep.
a big quarterback prospect. I believe he won 3 up to 4 up to this point. We still haven't seen Wade
and the fourth is still possible.
Yeah, and the 4th definitely possible as well. So definitely a big job there. I see Pablo there in the chat. PS3 is not a senior, nor did he uncap. So no, he is not in this draft class. Got to keep that moving here. And who is next on the draft board here? Let me see. Looks like it'll be St. Louis is on the clock.
Again. Again, they've pulled some really aggressive trades, but it really is amazing to see a team with this much talent also have this much draft capital. Kind of terrifying if you're any other team.
And who did they go for at number 2? That's the question. Follow up with one of the better quarterbacks.
I mean, obviously they've got their number 1 receiver with your mom, so getting Bridges someone to pass to isn't as big a need for them. I feel like having traded away Arn Jacobson, their best bet is to go defense. Now, whether they grab a safety, maybe even John Carter just to grab beast other player.
There's nothing wrong with going defense on that one. You can also find a way to give them a little bit more weapons too. Definitely got plenty of guys that could help Sean Bridges grow with him. Getting a young guy that could stay with him for a minute could help get some continuity on the offense as well. You never know.
I mean, I'd say Vic, but after the prospect game, I just can't see it happening.
Really going to base his draft pick on one game?
Yep. Ignore everything else.
Ignore the fact that he's scored most of the majority of wide receiver. I'm not even going to get into it. We're going to go ahead and flip to the St. Louis pick because the pick is indeed in. I'm talking too much right now. I'm loving all the people in the chat. Thank you for showing love and everything like that. But looks like we go ahead and turn it over to the big homie once again for pick number 2.
Thank you very much. With the 2nd overall selection, the St. Louis Archers via the Charlotte Royals have selected out of Central Houston Polytechnic free safety John Carter. Reset the clock with Arizona.
Yep.
Resetting the clock, indeed. And you did call it on that side. Going defense, getting a little balance there. Nothing wrong with that pick. And you got the same user from the person that you took first overall. So can't be too mad at that at all.
Nope. And he was my 2nd overall pick in the Prospect Bowl.
Okay, just go ahead and chop this down here. Solid job here so far. St. Louis having a solid start to their draft. You love to see it. Show some love to the homies, like I always say. And wow, what a day so far. I can't wait to see what's coming up next in this one. We'll go ahead and move back to the clock here. And the next team on the move will be Arizona. It will be the Arizona Rattlers next on the clock.
Well, we know they need a running back. No, I'm kidding.
Obviously.
I figure I gave you enough shit. I had to say something bad about Caboose.
Yeah, you had to balance it out. I don't like that last one though. Don't be doing that again. Don't do it again. But but no, seriously, Arizona, they made their first playoff game in team history. And seeing how they went from the season before up till now, definitely some big strides. I can't wait to see what they're going to add to the homie off Jacobson, Dominique 2 times, Pablo Sanchez the third. They did let go the homie Bubba Hill, but there is one guy in the mix that could fill his shoes probably, and that's probably what I'm thinking is going to be that man, Sir Lancelot.
I mean, jokes aside, Vic is the top earner available in this draft. I really find recommend anyone but him at this point.
It could be either or. You never know. But I'm still thinking it's gonna be Sir Lancelot on this one. I got a sneaky feeling you never know what's going to happen. But can't wait to see it once again. Arizona has a lot of promise with that young core that they have, and a lot more picks to come for them. So let's see what happens here. Waiting on the pick being in pretty soon, I'm sure.
Actually, I can't remember if it was Arizona or Chicago has GM players in this draft and has to pick one of them. Was it Arizona?
Sorry, you were breaking up. Say again.
Was Arizona that has GM draft as well?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, obviously, then it's going to be those two folks.
Awesome. It looks like Arizona's pick is indeed in. Let's go ahead and flip back to the commission.
All right. And with the third overall selection in the Season 5 USFA draft, the Arizona Rattlers have selected, out of Orange County State, wide receiver Sir Lancelot.
Yep.
Did call it right there. Another big name for Dominique 2 times to throw to in this one. The first OCSU pick up to this point. And looking nice and easy. What are you thinking about this guy here?
Well, I mean, their options were limited when it's either grab one of your players or have them do nothing for a year. That really limits your options.
Most definitely. Okay, got that there. And looks like the next one on the clock is coming up soon. And it looks like St. Louis on the clock coming up here. Let's go ahead and get it moving. St. Louis is back on. Another pick.
Have I mentioned how weird it is for a team this strong to have this many draft picks? I think I hit that already.
Yeah.
Okay, every pick, yeah.
Pretty much. Who did it go this time? That's the question.
I mean, at this point, you may as well just grab James West. Keep anyone else from getting a quarter. I mean, obviously, I feel like linebackers are their biggest need at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Arm really is a big loss for them. Two of the playoff teams, two of the four teams, had strong running backs. So obviously, you're going to want to be able to hold them in check for those big games. So I'd be leaning someone, I don't know, Tank Falco maybe?
Tank Falco definitely wouldn't be a bad pick for sure. As I'm setting everything up here on the draft ticker on your right side.
But then again, they did go defense with their last pick, so what do you get for the team that has everything?
Nothing. Just kidding.
And of course, they don't have everything. They do have a lot of holes to fill, but
yes,
compared to the average team, they're doing quite well.
Okay, and it looks like the pick is indeed in here for the homies in St. Louis. So we'll go ahead and flip back to the commissioner.
All right. With the 4th overall selection, the St. Louis Archers, via the Tacoma Eruption, have selected, out of Mile High University, cornerback Jordan Veen.
That's a solid pick right there. I like that. Going into the defensive back for Mile High. I had to say it one time since I've been up here. Them football giants.
Well, it's worth noting that even though he's a cornerback, his secondary position is strong safety. You could put him at strong safety because he's definitely got the tackling for it, and then move a safety to linebacker, and you've kind of covered up your hole that way.
Most definitely. Solid job there. The homie Venom getting onto the squad here for St. Louis. And let me just go ahead and put these names in real quick. Definitely testing my typing abilities with this. I didn't realize this until I actually started doing it. But hey, we're going to go ahead and freestyle it. It's all good.
All right, and I am back home, so I'm going to hop off my phone and onto my computer.
Alrighty. Go ahead and put that here all ready to go. And this is 4 overall. Getting chatter in the background. I see you talking right there. It's already done. Thank you. But we are in for the next pick coming up. Tacoma is on the clock for their first pick. There's a lot of ways that they could go in this one. I know there's one player on that defense is looking very intently on what's going on for this draft pick for Tacoma. I'm not going to say a name, but I think most people that know me know that they're talking about. So, can't wait to see what's happening on that one. Let me go ahead and flip this one here. And it's not going to be St. Louis. It's going to be Tacoma. There you go. Checking out the chat real quick. Pablo does not like a pick that joined up for whatever reason. But it's going to be okay. The more talent on offense, the better. I already see right there, Venom. He's loving where he's going right there. You love to see it. Shout out to the homies in the chat once again. And it looks like the pick is indeed in for Tacoma. We're going back to that commissioner boss man. Say what you're going to say.
All right. With the 5th overall selection, the Tacoma Eruption via the St. Louis Archers have selected, out of Central Houston Polytechnic, tight end Vic Dotson.
Tight end Vic Dotson. And I know that player pretty well, I must say, but solid pick there for Tacoma. Giving that quarterback there someone to throw to, and that's definitely going to help out their offense going forward. Definitely one of the more well-rounded players within the offensive set, and he could definitely go both ways, both on the playing tight end side. He could play wide receiver. He's got one of the more sure hands in the league as well. Last season had well over 85% in regards to the catch rate. So definitely something that could help this Tacoma team move up the field a lot better. And we've seen players like Frederick Kaiser for Huntington Beach make some solid plays. So cannot wait to see how this team is going to utilize him. Solid job right there. And it does look like Pittsburgh is on the clock. Let me go ahead and flip over to it just a little bit. Thank you, sir. Got that on the board there for Tacoma. Let's go ahead and flip it back. It's going to be Pittsburgh looking to get their first pick of the draft. Can't wait to see what happens. And I just realized there is not one here for Pittsburgh, but we're going to move it on. We're going to keep it moving. And I'm still thinking it's going to be Mike on this one. I still have a feeling they need to at least start with their run game, help them move the ball a lot up the field. And we're getting close to the end of the first. We can't even speak right now. End of the first round here. There you go. I was thinking of something else, but looks like we could go ahead and move on to that pick. It looks like Pittsburgh's pick is in. We'll go ahead and flip over to it now. We got the commissioner on top ready to give it off. Let's go ahead and get to it.
Right. And with the 6th overall selection, the Pittsburgh Roughnecks, via the St. Louis Archers, via the Huntington Beach Voyagers, have selected, out of Mile High University, running back Mike Hawk.
Going Mike right there. You love to see it. The big dog out of the Mile High Football Giants running back spot. And we're going to see a lot of big games between him and the homie in Arizona, North Jacobson. If you've been there for a minute, you know that those two players were in the same running back core back in college, and now they're both in the big leagues, ready to do some damage. Shout out to the homies here, and that's a real good pick right there. Can't wait to see what he's going to do in the big league. So outside of that, we go ahead and move on to our next pick. See who the pick is going to be. Looks like it's Pittsburgh again for take number 2. They're going to start out round number 2 with the first pick. So that's going to be a solid job to start this one off. Just checking a few things here. And the timer's all ready to go on the backside. So they are currently on the clock. Solid job by the homies here. Two. Seven. Okay. And let's go back to that game there. All ready to go. And people in the chat saying that wanted to feel realistic. Most people know one of those players was going to go. Eric Dennery's still waiting for his name to be called. Don't fret. Your name is going to be coming along with others. We still got some time. And it looks like that second pick here for Pittsburgh is coming in. So let's hear from the commissioner.
All right. And with the 7th overall pick, the Pittsburgh Roughnecks have selected, out of Mile High University, quarterback James West.
James West. The homie Vinny has his player picked. He's going to St. Louis, and the quarterback going to the new dogs on the block, the Pittsburgh Roughnecks. You love to see it. He had a real big game there for the homie KC Colby getting that victory for the Prospect Bowl, and probably raise his draft stock even further. Not quite first round, but definitely a big dog in the league nonetheless. You love to see the homies eat on that one. And I'm going to update there. And wow, what a big game there for Vinny. Didn't quite get the awards. I think that's probably one of the knocks on his game. He doesn't have the awards to show how great he's been. Nor, you can also say the weapons as well. You can also say that the weapons haven't really been as consistent. I know that Vinny and the homie Sean Bridges have been going back and forth in regards to Venom and Sean Bridges there. But honestly, a great pick there for Pittsburgh. Got the starting quarterback, got the starting running back. So now it's time to see if they kind of move over to the defensive side, or are they going to just focus a little bit more on that offense, see if they can put something going. That's going to be an interesting sight to see. And it looks like it's St. Louis is going to be the next one on the board.
I just want to say real quick in chat, Kickler10 said West is a steal going in the second, and I definitely agree. Even if you feel Bridges is better, I don't think many people would argue that they are a full round of talent apart, because a full round did go in between them being drafted.
Most definitely. And welcome back. You kind of freaked me out a little bit. I was hearing voices in my head or something, but it's all good. Definitely a steal right there. I didn't even think of that, but looks like we could go ahead and flip over to the St. Louis side once again. The pick is indeed in. Let's hear from that commissioner one more time.
All right. With the 8th overall pick, the St. Louis Archers via the Charlotte Royals have selected out of Orlando Tech tight end Evan Hunt.
Evan Hunt. Now, this was an interesting pick right here, especially after that big game for your team right there, Colby. He did show out. I wasn't surprised that his draft stock rose a good amount after that. All the major tight end position players have been drafted here, and Orlando Tech gets their first player drafted. So that's going to be very nicely done there. We're still waiting for an Isagusta pick. Lake Geneva's still waiting on it, but we still got some time. But how you feel about this pick here, Evan? How you like the Evan pick?
I mean, I think he proved to be a very complete player, for the position. Honestly, I can't find any fault with it. Like it's just I mean, we mentioned his name in the first round,
Most definitely. And it looks like the homies in Arizona are back on the clock, looking for some more picks, looking for some more help for the offense and or the defense. They could honestly go either way. Where are you thinking they're leaning towards? Me personally, I'm thinking they're going to go towards the defensive side of the field, possibly within that linebacker core, maybe even towards the secondary. There's still some good value picks there at the safety spot, the cornerback spot. You never know what's going to happen here. And it does look like that pick is indeed in for Arizona. Commissioner back up to the podium. Let's see what they got.
With the 9th overall pick, the Arizona Rattlers have selected out of Orlando Tech University strong safety Randall Hawkins.
Randall Hawkins. Okay. I see your first phrase. Solid pick. There for the strong safety position. Randall Hawkins can play that linebacker spot. I guess a lot of that versatility that came up in that last game showed up. And looks like Arizona is going to be moving towards getting that guy there, Randall Hawkins, a former East Augusta Blue Lobster as well. So definitely a lot to work with in this one. Let me go ahead and type this one in here. Let's go ahead and flip this clock. There you go. And let's go. That's going to be strong safety and the team on the clock right here. Put this in here. It's going to be O-Tech. Thank you. And looks like it's going to be the homies in Tacoma that is going to be back on to the draft board. A lot of ways to go with this one, and it looks like they have a lot of picks to work with. Shout out to the homies in the chat, seeing what's happening here. Kickler still looking for his name drafted. I'm seeing Falco still there, right there. Good job, O-Tech. I see, okay, I'm seeing some boos in the chat. Said boo, commish. That is not his fault. The commissioner does not tell the players who to draft. But Looks like Tacoma's pick is in. And we got the commissioner back on the board. What do you got?
Well, thank you all for the booze. I appreciate them. But with the
Roger
10th
Caboose.
overall pick, the Tacoma Eruption have selected out of East Augusta University cornerback Mikey Jackson.
Cornerback Mikey Jackson picked over the homie in the chat right here, Tank Falco. A very interesting take here for the homies here in Tacoma. They're going to add to their cornerback slot, and they're going to be looking to shore up that secondary so teams won't be passing on them 50 billion times. But honestly, not a bad pick here for Tacoma. That was one of the big problem areas there for Tacoma. And they're going to get the first East Augusta pick coming for Mikey Jackson. Definitely one of the newer people that joined the league and showed a lot of love here for the homies in East Augusta. So I can't wait to see what he does in Tacoma. And we're back on the board. Tacoma is back on for another, and I think they already have their pick lined up already. So might as well let that clock do its thing. We're going to go back to that side. And it looks like the commissioner's back up again. A real quick one. They had not a lot of time to think of this.
All right. And with the 11th overall pick, the Tacoma Eruption via the St. Louis Archers have selected out of Central Houston Polytechnic wide receiver Isaiah Fowler.
Isaiah Fowler going onto the board there. Tacoma adding another receiver to help that passing game move forward. They already got Vic Dotson. Now they're getting his buddy out of the wide receiver spot coming into the fold. Isaiah Fowler looking to make some moves here for the homies in Tacoma, Washington. And that was a solid pick as well. We've seen a lot of big plays there from that receiver. He's looking to do it in the big leagues. And I can't wait to see what they do. Solid job here. Just marking this up, make sure I got everything here. And I might as well not even touch the clock because Tacoma is back on for the next pick as well. Third straight pick coming up here for Tacoma. And once again, looks like the commissioner is just standing at the podium there doing his thug thizzle. He's ready for the next one.
Indeed. With the 12th overall pick, the Tacoma Eruption via the Huntington Beach Voyagers have selected out of East Augusta inside linebacker Tank Falco.
And there goes that man, Tank Falco, holding it down in the linebacker spot there for East Augusta. And he's finally getting his name called here. He waited a little bit, but right at the bottom of the second round goes starting linebacker all the way through there for East Augusta. Kobe, how are you feeling about this one?
Well, first off, I just want to say I was happy to see Fowler get picked the previous round.
Yeah, freeze.
But honestly, like I gotta just call out chat. Another D man we missed, like from Pablo Sanchez. Definitely some mixed feelings on this pick.
yeah, Pablo's looking to get some more help on that defense there for Arizona so far. They've been moving towards another direction, but still got some time. Still got plenty of picks left as well as we move into the breaking point of the third round.
Well, first we have. Isn't there another pick first?
Oh yeah, compensation pick. I forgot all about the
Yeah.
compensation. Yes, Pittsburgh is back on for a compensation pick there. Let me go ahead and move to that spot here. And it looks like that spot is on the clock as well for Pittsburgh. So let's see what they got going on. Yes, waiting on that next pick. I think he just fumbled the envelope there, got picked up wrong one, and I think he moved back. I think he's ready now. There he is.
Yep, there I am. Sorry, tripped a little bit. With the 13th overall pick, the compensation pick from the expansion draft, the Pittsburgh Roughnecks have selected out of Central Houston Polytechnic cornerback John Fowler.
It's going to be John Fowler up in here. Let me go ahead and up this one. You were teammates with this guy as well, Kobe. Well, where your player was. How are you feeling about this
Yeah.
pick here?
I mean, there does seem to be a general desire to keep a user's players together, which is really interesting because on one hand, yeah, it's probably good for loyalty, but on the other, if one of them goes inactive, you lose two players at once. And so I've always found that interesting because not a lot of leagues have that option. But I mean, he's a good defender. I actually like his build a little better than some of the other defensive backs.
Mm-hmm.
In general, just to throw this out there, I think too many cornerbacks put too much TP into tackling. So there's some free advice from someone who has proven nothing.
Most definitely. But looks like we're going to keep it moving here, and it does look like Pittsburgh is on the clock again. I believe this is their third round pick here. If I can, I don't think they have a second compensation pick. I think it's their first pick of the third round, right? Pretty sure.
There was just one comp pick.
Yeah.
That's
So it's going to be back on for Pittsburgh again. And looks like that commissioner there, styling and profiling, looking for some moves. But hold up. Looks like we can go ahead and bring that trade thing up again. We got ourselves another trade here. Holy moly. Holy moly, donut shop indeed. And it does look like it's going to be a trade between Pittsburgh and St. Louis. Looks like Pittsburgh is going to be giving up their, looks like the third round pick for number 14. And they'll also be giving up their season 6 third and their season 7 second. And that will move Pittsburgh to get the season 7 first pick here. So that's pretty crazy right there. Another trade coming up here. And it does look like the homies at St. Louis will be on the clock. How are you feeling about this?
I'll be honest. I missed some of that. I think I was having internet issues. I'm very sorry.
Oh yes, there was a trade between St. Louis and Pittsburgh, and it looks like Pittsburgh will receive St. Louis's season 7 first round pick, and St. Louis will get this third round pick coming up, along with the Pittsburgh season 6 third round pick and the season 7 second round pick.
I mean, two of those picks we don't even know will really exist. In terms of having a meaningful player. I always cringe at, like, I don't think there's first round talent left in the draft at this point. Whereas season 7, like, there's still so much that remains to be seen. We've got so many actives. Hell, oh, never mind. I won't be in that one. But yeah, there's no telling who'll be in that draft. I think that has too much potential value.
Most definitely, but looks like I see him styling, profiling again. I see that commissioner walking up to that podium. Where is St. Louis gonna go?
Well, with the 14th overall selection, the St. Louis Archers via the Pittsburgh Roughnecks are going to select out of Orange County State running back Dan Green.
Running back Dan Green. I was not expecting that one, but it's going to be the user. It's going to be the user A. Drewster heading to St. Louis after that pick. And
It
we've seen him have a few good plays so far, not just in your game for your team, but also in the regular season. How are you feeling about this?
has he actually spent his TPE at this point?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then yeah, definitely not a first round worthy pick. Which again, that's potentially what they gave up. But considering there's no more fillers or automatic 300s, I guess you got to take what you can take.
Running back, wide receiver, he could play both sides. And see, there's one guy rooting for Herrick Denry there. He said OCSU, and they said running back, and it said you broke my damn heart. I felt that pain there on that one. Apologies, I didn't do it. Trust and believe me, I ain't do it. But it's gonna be Charlotte on the clock coming up in just a little bit. Just gotta type that one thing there. Thank you, fingers. And let me go ahead and get this rolling again. It's going to be the homies in Charlotte for their first pick. And where are you thinking this one is going to go right here?
Caboose, would you be willing to venture a guess as to Charlotte's intentions?
I'm not even going to touch it.
Um, I mean,
Anywhere and everywhere.
yeah. Their holes are effectively here. Here being the entire roster.
They can honestly go anywhere. I know.
Yeah.
Okay, where should they start since y'all want to be smart asses?
I would probably start. I mean, because with wide receiver or cornerback, that's one of those positions where you need several of them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Basically, just avoid any one deep position. Like I wouldn't grab a running back, for example. Um, but I could see a defensive back or a wide receiver being a good pick here.
Interesting.
Anything where depth is going to matter and what the player you draft can stay on your roster for a while.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely. Well, it looks like the pick is indeed in here for Charlotte. Let's go ahead and flip over to it. It looks like the commissioner hitting that Ric Flair strut going up to the podium.
Absolutely. And with the 15th overall selection, the Charlotte Royals, hosting this draft right now, have selected out of Orange County State cornerback Andrew Green.
Andrew Green right here coming up for the... Which pick is this again? Make sure I got that right.
15th.
15th, thank you. And get that rolling on. So the Green brothers are officially off the board. And just like we said about Dan Green, who was just drafted a pick ago, he definitely got his updates going on for him as well. So what are you feeling about this one? Definitely helping that secondary for sure.
Like I said, it's a position group that they're going to need a lot of players for, a lot of holes. They could draft a cornerback, first overall next year, and still not have this pick be a waste, which I think is really what you're looking at. You got to make every draft pick count.
Most definitely. And it looks like the homies in Arizona. I know that homie Pablo's hyped for this one. He's back on the clock again. And what are they going to do with this one here? Arizona, thank you. And where do they go from here? I know they need some defensive help. Still got some defense available here. Still got some points to help them out on this one. Where do you
And
think they're leading?
just a chat update real quick. Fowler posted in Twitch chat, White better trade for Isaiah. The Fowlers want to be on the same roster. What will it take to make that happen? And what will happen if it doesn't happen before free agency?
Never know. And you see right there, Pablo, he's voicing his
Yep.
opinion right there. He's the holy, please get us and he'll correct himself, good job. Us AD man, please. Henry is falling though. The league is messing up. That's what he said. He said y'all sleeping on your man. He had a pretty damn good game there for the Prospect Bowl as well. I don't know if he can make his case any better for him being up a little bit higher up the boards, but we're in round number 3 at the current moment. Looks like that pick is indeed in there for Arizona. Let's see where they roll with this one.
And with the 16th overall selection, the Arizona Rattlers have selected out of Orange County State strong safety Aiden Montana.
Aiden Montana. Haven't really heard too much from the man's right there, but he definitely adds to that defensive front. The more defensive bodies, the better. And how you feeling about this pick, Kobe?
It's actually a really good pick. Based on the arc, Aiden can play strong safety or linebacker.
Mhm.
And as I mentioned, linebacker is a deep position group where there is not a ton of talent. So having a player like that who gives you options, you really can't underestimate that.
Most definitely. Solid job there by the homies. I'm going to go ahead and copy this up and put it in the wrong space. But it looks like the homies in Tacoma is on the clock here. I'm going to go ahead and flip this here. Just got to make some changes. There you go. And Tacoma, they did their thing in regards to adding some more pieces to their team. Where do they go from here? What are your thoughts on their next pick?
I feel like if it's not Denry, someone in chat might riot.
Oh man, I know he's been waiting. He's been sitting for a little bit. We're already an hour into this one. Once again, thanks for all the people for showing some love. Let's see how many people we got up here. 12 people. You love to see it. And yeah, he said he's gonna blow up. Azula VTuber doing his thing right there, and it does look like a pretty quick pick here for Tacoma, so they know where they're going. Almost took him a minute to do so, and there goes the commissioner once again. I take that back. He's just announcing a trade coming up here, and it looks like we could go ahead and bring that one back up here again. It looks like Charlotte moves up for the move. And looks like Tacoma will be receiving linebacker Oliver Prince. Been into the league for a while, so Tacoma does get a solid piece for their backfield. And it looks like Charlotte is going to be taking the next pick. And honestly, they could use some more moves. That definitely helps their case to get a guy like a Denry as well. So you think it's going to be either one of those two, between Aaron Whitten or Eric Denry? Because that's what Venom's saying right here.
So here's a question. I unfortunately can't pull up his page. What is his secondary position for Denry?
I believe it's fullback.
Okay, so honestly, a lot of teams could benefit from him then.
Mm-hmm.
Then yeah, I feel like that's probably going to pay more dividends.
Mm-hmm. Oh, why didn't I show up? Sorry about that. Let me put that on. But looks like the pick is in for Charlotte this time. Trying to get some more players for this team. And let's see what they got going on. Commissioners up.
All right. With the 17th overall selection, the Charlotte Royals, via the Tacoma eruption, have selected from Lake Geneva University kicker Falco Dimacchio.
Interesting pick. And you and me, Colby, we know how valuable that kicker / punter position is within the working of the sim. Kind of interesting thought that it'll go maybe this high for it and a trade up. What are you thinking about this?
I don't know. Kicker is such an easy. I mean, as we also saw from the game, it's also really easy to build a bot who's just as good. I mean, if Dimacchio stays active, even semi-active, this is a fantastic pick.
Mhm.
Because if you can get him to invest a little bit into power, I think he'll be a great kicker. But for now, especially given how many holes Charlotte have, I would rather just pay for a kicker bot and draft even a mild need.
Mhm. Lake Geneva gets their first draftee in team history. Shout out to the homies in Wisconsin. And let's see who we have next on the clock. And just to review the trade once again, Tacoma gets linebacker Oliver Prince. So they add a little bit to that defensive core on the linebacker side. And looks like Charlotte's going to use their pick for the kicker slash punter Falco Dimacchio. Solid job there. Charlotte doing their thing right there. And it looks like it's going to be the homies in St. Louis taking the stand next. Back on the stand again. And I did not switch the timer, but it's all good. And where do they go from here? A good amount of picks already. They got their quarterback. They got some solid pieces on defense as well. Where do you think that they go with this
I'm sticking with my if it's not Denry, Chad is going to go nuts.
one?
It's not even about team needs anymore.
If you guys are gonna riot, do it in the chat. I wouldn't mind. Go ahead and write in the chat. I'm not mad at you. But it should be an interesting pick nonetheless here. St. Louis is here in the on the pick here, and it's gonna be the homie, the commissioner about to make that pick. Who do you got for us?
All right. With the 18th overall selection, the St. Louis Archers have selected out of Orange County State inside linebacker Biff Markham.
Linebacker Biff Markham. The Biff. That's why I call him on the chat right there. And he's just like his name. He makes waves. And can't wait to see what he does for St. Louis. And we still do not have a Herrick Denry sighting so far in this draft as we move closer to the fourth round. What are you thinking on this one?
I mean, like I said, linebacker is a very needed position on a lot of teams. If you can get anything out of that, go for it. I actually would have preferred Denry this time, though. This is 2 picks in a row where I'll give it to Denry.
Seeing right there, Herrick Denry sliding a little bit as we hit the last official pick of the third round. I'm not sure if we have any compensatory picks. Do we have any in the third?
No.
Okay, so this will be the last pick of round number 3. And let me see who is coming up next in this one. Shout out to the homies in the chat, by the way. Loving what you're doing. And it looks like it is going to be Tacoma that is going to be back on the clock for another one. And I'm kind of in the mix, kind of waiting to see where the homie Herrick Denry goes. It's been a little bit of a legacy so far in this draft. But where are you thinking this one goes for the peeps up north?
I don't know, probably to the finals. It's really hard to say on this. I've been way off on a few picks now. I think we've reached the point to where I just got no clue. At this point, if you're a GM, it's who do I think I have a chance of talking into updating a few times? Like
Mhm.
you're just trying to find some chance at activity. It's really less about team needs.
Interesting thought process. We get to the later portion of this draft here. It's going to be the homies in Tacoma on the clock, but it looks like their pick already in. Let's see what the commissioner has for us.
All right, well, I'm sorry to disappoint, but the Tacoma Eruption via the Huntington Beach Voyagers have selected out of East Augusta wide receiver Moldy Cheese.
Oh, I forgot about him.
Moldy Cheese falls all the way to the tail end of the third round, and we've seen all the big plays he's made for East Augusta. This is probably a steal. He definitely has high third round, low second round type talent, and you can honestly say he has first round talent depending on how you look at it, just on how we did on the field. But looks like it's going to be another slide there for Herrick Denry. But talk a little bit about the homie Moldy Cheese.
I mean, in terms of TPE, I think easily the highest of the players remaining. I mean, this is someone who, when he came back a few days ago, if he'd stayed, I don't know, I'd probably have him early second.
Yeah.
You know, like he was such a solid user. I want to say he's at 311 TPE, something like that. And we've seen that the build is viable. I mean, the dude tore it up all season, had some amazing plays in the prospect game again against, quality defenders and with other solid targets to pass to. He's going to produce. There's no question about that. And as a depth receiver, remember, like this is the same team that has Yojo. So it's not like he's going to have to handle being the number one either.
Mm-hmm.
This gives Montaigne some serious upgrades to passing, and I think she's going to have a great season.
Moldy Cheese on the move there to Tacoma. And as you see, it looks like Pittsburgh is already ready for their pick here. The commissioner's already on the board. Let's see what they got.
Also, I brain farted right there. That was Tacoma who drafted Moldy Cheese.
Yep.
All right, and with the 20th overall pick, the Pittsburgh Roughnecks have selected, also out of East Augusta, free safety on brand mold.
On brand.
Holy crap! I forgot about Cheese's players. No, I'm kidding.
Oh man, but it looks like both of the Cheese's players will be drafted here. It looks like on brand mold will be going to Pittsburgh. Let's see what happens on the next pick just as soon as that finishes up. But on brand mold, definitely a solid piece in that secondary that could help Pittsburgh make sure those passes don't go through, if you will. He goes sideline to sideline, and he does have the ability to run on that return game as well. So can't be mad at that pick there for Pittsburgh. Let's see what they got going on here. Looks like Charlotte is going to be next. I'm just typing up a couple of things. And what number was this pick again? Make sure I got that right.
The pick that you just did was 20. 20 overall.
Thank you, sir. And I'll go ahead and add that there. Thank you. And we'll go ahead and move on to the next pick. It looks like it's going to be Charlotte. Where do they go from here? Sorry, I haven't been updating the one on this draft board here, but it's been going a little bit too quick. I was expecting to get it done, but at least been doing it on the team sections here. Get that one all ready to go for you. And Charlotte is looking to get some more talent there for that team. Where do you think they go? Do you think they? I think this is around the time where I think it could be the homie Herrick Denry. But we still have to figure that out. Oh, I was thinking he was going to answer on that, but it's all good. Actually, looks like the pick is coming here for Charlotte. Turn time up a little bit there. Let's see what they got.
All right. With the 21st overall pick, the Charlotte Royals have selected, out of East Augusta University, wide receiver Aaron Whitten.
And there goes another piece there for Charlotte. Another pick in regards to East Augusta, number 21. The homies right there. Aaron Whitten, we seen him make some moves in that big prospect game as well. Definitely helped. Definitely one of those unsung heroes there for East Augusta that helped them get their first championship. Wow, what a draft so far for Charlotte. Looking real nice to see. And I'm going to go ahead and update this here. Whitten. It's going to be wide receiver. But let's go ahead and get this one ready to go for the next pick. It looks like Arizona will be next. Excuse, thank you. And a lot of moves here coming up. Show some love to your peoples here. Looks like Whitten is getting picked. Looks like Pablo says that he wants a kicker for his next spot. Let me see here. It's Arizona. Thank you. Fowler chiming up saying he wants Isaiah on Pittsburgh. No cap. And Pablo says another missed PAT that loses us. Turks is like, why are... Hey, no, that's actually pretty good. No, keep on doing that. I'm not mad at it. That's more chatter there.
I mean, to be fair, I feel like if he knew what kicker was left, he might be changing his tune.
Yeah, that's true. Honestly, Arizona does not have a bad kicker at all. Dave Washington is actually one of the better kickers last season, if you check the stats. So, not going to have the best of the best every now and then, but that is part of the process. It does look like Arizona's pick is here. Let's see what they got going on.
All right. With the 23rd overall pick, the Arizona Rattlers have selected out of Lake Geneva University free safety Juju Moore.
Juju Moore, Lake Geneva with another pick. Looking nice, looking clean. We still haven't seen where the homie Lamar Jackson is going to go. We haven't seen him quite yet, but
There's quite a few players we haven't seen. Obviously we've been talking about Denry, but Azula VTuber pointed out Dexter Hall still available as well.
most definitely. And Angel Flugel as well, if you want to throw that out too.
Well, he's not legal, right? Because he was a GM player.
Oh, I thought he did the maybe. Yeah. He is a GM player. Yeah, you're right. I got confused there. Let's see here. Let's go at the free safety, and Juju was out of Lake Geneva, so I'll mark that there. And let's see who is.
Well, Hall is a GM player as well, so we both did it.
Yep. We both flipped each other. It's all good.
Hall is Arizona.
Mm-hmm. Let me see.
Thanks, Caboose.
That's why he's the best. Tacoma is going to be next on the clock, on the board again. Going to be interesting to see what the homies do in Tacoma. They got a lot of good picks here. Got a lot of picks. They got a lot of value out of those picks as well. And we're still keeping it moving here. Out of what you've seen up to this point, what do you think about this Tacoma team so far? They got a lot of talent in a lot of areas. They got the homie Mikey. They got Isaiah Fowler. They got Falco. They got Moldy Cheese as well. Looks like they're loading up a little bit on East Augusta side. But what are you seeing from the team?
I mean, you're definitely right about them picking up some great talent thus far, especially on offense.
And I didn't even bring up Vic Dotson either, who's
No, you didn't. That was very modest of you. But again, I'm gonna keep saying Denry. If you've got him who could play, if he can play fullback, that is exactly where I would be plugging him in. Because that's one of those positions that it's a small impact, but it ain't nothing, and it's not something you can replace with a bot either.
most definitely. But no, looks like Tacoma is on the board as well, ready for that pick. Commissioner's up.
All right. And with the 24th overall pick, the Tacoma Eruption have selected free agent kicker, Dude Kick Gonna Miss.
Oh,
Dude Kick gonna miss. And
if you're wondering what free agent means, it means not good enough for the CSFA.
that is a very interesting pick there, I must say. Definitely wasn't expecting that one, but
Same,
it does
same.
look like Tacoma is going to at least attempt to bolster up their kicker slash punter spot there.
They
Even though
didn't.
Brent Skoma, they did lose him in the expansion draft, so at the current moment they didn't have anything.
Again, they had a bot. Every team can just buy a kicker bot, and the lowest tier bot is only 250K more than a rookie. So basically, they just saved a 250K and got a much worse kicker.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it. I mean, this far down the draft, it's not like it's a big deal, but I really don't like it.
And what pick is this again, number wise? I keep losing my numbers.
1 second. That is 24 overall.
24 overall, so that's going to be the end of round number 4.
Nope.
Where you got
We've got.
compensatory?
Well, no, we have 2 more picks. Sorry, that was 23. I just noticed our list was misnumbered. It skipped 22.
Oh yeah.
So that was 23. There are 2 more picks because of an earlier comp pick.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like that pick right there, the first one of those two, is going to be with St. Louis. And it looks like they already have their player in mind. Let's see what the commissioner says.
With the 24th overall selection, the St. Louis Archers have selected, out of Orange County State, running back, Herrick Denry.
Who did you start to say?
He said Dan Green.
I mean, he was already drafted, but it's so funny.
But it looks like he finally has his home, the homie Herrick Denry out of OCSU. He's going to be heading to St. Louis. Shout out to the homie. He's been pretty patient. And it's going to be a fun sight. You see Venom, he's happy he's going to get himself a pretty strong running back to go along with his throwing talent. And now we can finally talk a little bit about the homie Herrick Denver. We've seen what he did in the prospect game, but what are your thoughts on him?
It finally happened. Like that's all I got. It's just finally. I'm not saying he was the only player left worth drafting, but I mean, if you're after Dude Kick Gonna Miss, you're automatically a steal.
You're definitely right about that. And looking at, and there is one team we haven't really talked about in this draft is Huntington Beach. Thing
Well,
is,
I disagree because I talked about them quite a bit when I wasn't supposed to.
in regards to drafting,
I know.
in regards to drafting, and looks like they are up next, but it looks like General Manager AW13 is going to elect to pass this one. So it looks like they're pretty content with what they have. What are your thoughts on that pass there?
I'm not sure there's anyone really worth drafting for them. But man, that is rough to see because they did have some significant losses in the expansion draft.
Mm-hmm.
And to see them confirm that they are coming out of this draft with genuinely nothing, that's got to be concerning for them.
I was not expecting that myself. I had the sheet up there and everything. I was ready to put something on the board for them, but it looks like it's gonna be a pass here. And see what happens on the next spot coming up. See what the team is next. And looks like the next pick is in there for Charlotte, but it isn't going to be a player, and it looks like Charlotte is going to pass as well.
We have hit that stage.
Okay. And no pick there for Huntington Beach or Charlotte, so that should lock up 2 teams there, assuming they'll see if they could get someone crazy down the line. I doubt it'll happen, but usually when they pass, it means they're good on the draft.
It, it should have gone from Huntington to Pittsburgh, right?
No, it's Huntington Beach, Charlotte, and it looks like Pittsburgh's next. And it looks like Pittsburgh is going to pass as well.
Oh, okay, my bad.
So half the teams right there sending a pass on that one. And got 3 more teams. We still have Arizona, Tacoma, and St. Louis left with picks. And actually, if we can knock down one more team, Arizona is the next one down. They also pass as well.
And Pablo saying looks like Arizona isn't going to do anything. Bear in mind, they grabbed a receiver and 3 defenders in this draft. They got quite a bit of talent.
And it looks like one more team down. Tacoma is next with the pass. And I think they're set with their draft picks. They had a pretty solid draft overall. And we got one more pick there. One more team in St. Louis. It looks like they still have a chance here to get something.
All right. Well, with the 31st overall pick, the St. Louis Archers have selected out of Lake Geneva University wide receiver Lamar Jackson.
And they're going to keep it moving here, adding another piece to the puzzle, not giving up. And it's going to be Lamar Jackson. What pick is this? Make sure I got it right.
I am showing that was the 31st pick.
Number
30th. Sorry, I keep forgetting that.
30. Yeah, 30.
Okay, and it's going to be Lamar Jackson. Definitely made some big plays there, even though Lake Geneva couldn't get the victories for Lake Geneva. But he does find his way into the draft fold as well. Shout out to the homie Lamar Jackson. Solid pick there, once again, there for St. Louis. And it looks like St. Louis is on the clock again, looking for another pick. Let me see what is happening.
All right. Well, with the 37th overall pick, the St. Louis Archers have selected out of LGU cornerback Sandra Balazas.
Is it Balazs or Balaz?
Balazs.
Balazs. But there's going to be another pick there. It's a safety, right? Is it safety?
Corner.
CB.
Okay. Solid job by the homie there, getting into the fold as well. And it looks like St. Louis is going to call it quits there. And they passed after that. And at that point, that's going to conclude this draft. Wow. Lamar Jackson getting into St. Louis. Got a couple picks there for St. Louis with Sandor. Got Lamar Jackson. Kobe, we got the teams lined up in regards to the draft picks. What are you thinking about this now that we kind of see where everyone's going?
Well, I'm happy to kiss your butt a little bit and say that I think you were a steal at 5th overall. Not only were you easily the strongest tight end in the draft, I think you were the strongest earner in the draft. And yeah, while T may not get as much volume as a wide receiver 1 or 3, I think there's so much potential to mess stuff up on the field, especially once you round out and put something into blocking. So many teams could benefit from that. And in general, I think Tacoma had a fantastic draft. Between grabbing you and Cheese, already That's looking like a much improved pass offense, and that wasn't even counting Isaiah Fowler, who was a great wide receiver as well. Adding in a great linebacker like Tank, um, a DV Mikey Jackson. I mean, they added so much talent this draft. If I had to call a draft winner, I would say them.
Most definitely showed out and did their thing. A lot of teams got some real big pieces there. St. Louis, they're going to get their quarterback. Um, Pittsburgh is also going to get their quarterback as well. A lot of big players. Finally seen the homie Eric Dennery getting into the mix as well. Took him a little bit, but he definitely got on the team, got drafted, all the good stuff. Charlotte definitely looks like they improved a lot in regards to it as well. So, yeah. Actually, we take that back. You think the draft is over? We might as well bring that trade spot one more time. We got a post-draft trade coming up here, and let's see what happens on this one. Getting the feed here on my side, but we could also let it get to the commissioner as well. I think you see him heading up to the spot.
Absolutely. This is a trade between Pittsburgh and Charlotte. The Pittsburgh Roughnecks will receive wide receiver Aiden Keown and cornerback Cristo Rendo. And Charlotte will receive quarterback Bobby Markham.
Wow. United Bowl champion Bobby Markham heading to the homies in Charlotte, and probably the best quarterback player that's ever graced it since we started the actual seasons here. Charlotte actually has their move to actually get some players and get the ball down the field. How do you think about that one, Colby? That's a nice trade.
I mean, if you're on Charlotte, it's nice to know that you'll have at least some competence there. And given that they did draft Aaron Whitten, I'm sure he'll be glad to see some balls might actually be thrown accurately to him.
Oh, I thought you had more of that.
No, that was it. I was gonna say more, but I had misread something.
Most definitely, and I see in the chat Derek does give West the target to Aiden Keone. One of those tough receivers there for Charlotte's moving and packing their bags to give the homie some more targets. You love to see it. And wow, what a crazy draft day here. Looking at the time, it lasted an hour and a half up to this point. But I think we already gave a little bit of a breakdown as to who probably won it just off of value. I mean, it's kind of hard not to choose Tacoma. Just getting all these pieces all over around the field, and definitely with that pick you said there, with Vic Dotson as well, definitely a game changer. So we could go ahead and wrap this up unless you have any other closing thoughts.
I think that's all I got.
That's all I got too, man. Wow, what a day here for the USFA, the biggest draft in league history. It's finally over. And I appreciate all of you guys standing by with us and standing by with me for my crazy typing skills. But we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up here. I'll go ahead and download it, post it to YouTube, all the good stuff for all the people that didn't see. And we'll go ahead and say sayonara. We will see you back tomorrow for our last video, which will be our Q&A. Make sure you stand by for that, and make sure you head to our channel where you can see the admin questions. Post any question in regards to the league about that. We'll be answering them live for Twitch once again. I might get a game rolling there as well. So stand by for that. And congratulations to all of the draftees, all the GMs, all the teams, the fans, all the good stuff in the Season 5 entry draft. I hope you have a good rest of your day and stay safe.